Right now, new presidential polling, how Americans feel about Trump's first few weeks on the job.
Plus, highlights from Super Bowl 59. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. It's Monday. I'm Kyrie Lee.
I'm Chris Stanford. Savannah Brito joining us at the desk this morning. Boy, some signs that winter is nowhere near over.
Exactly. We have 3 chances of snow to talk about. 3.
Okay. We can get through it. We haven't had much this season, so.
No, we've only had 9 inches December, January, and February.
Wow.
Crazy.
You know, that and some pretty cool temperatures on the way as well.
Yeah, we're also going to see wind chills probably in place, at least what feels like negative 10 or so. That's in the forecast as early as tonight, and even early this morning. We don't have necessarily super cold temperatures, but we are waking up to those lower teens and even some of us in the single digits. It's mainly west and northwest of Madison early this morning. Skies are clear. That's going to change by later this afternoon. We're going to be mostly cloudy, but highs at least where they should be, about 28 degrees. No snow early, but later in the day. This is a map through 8:30 in the morning Tuesday. It's not necessarily going to snow until then, but we are going to see accumulations that are likely a dusting up to half an inch, maybe a few areas that see 1 inch of snow at the most, and that's looking better west of Madison. And then another chance to talk about Wednesday into Thursday. I'll have more on that coming up in a bit.
All right, thank you. We have an update to some breaking news this morning. That scene that Madison police have been asking you to stay away from on the east side is now clear. They were asking folks to stay away from Horde Street near 6th Street, just south of Demetral Park. There was a large police presence there overnight, but just in not too long ago, Madison police say that they were helping out Maple Bluff police with high-risk vehicle contact. They have since stabilized the scene, and there's no more threat to the public. If there's anything else to report on this, we'll update you here on News 3 Now this morning and online.
To other news this morning, there will be no third straight Super Bowl ring coming for my Kansas City Chiefs, unfortunately.
That's right. It was a blowout last night.
You don't have to make it sound so bad.
They got crushed, Kyrie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
And I shouldn't either, because they didn't come to play.
Yeah, they didn't. It was all Eagles in this one, who are now 2-time winners of the Lombardi Trophy. They did it in pretty convincing fashion. Second quarter, we'll start off with the highlights. Eagles up 10-0 already. They forced 2 straight sacks, and this interception by Cooper DeJean here followed it. He goes across the field, takes it all the way in for the score. Only once had a team ever won a Super Bowl after throwing a pick six. It would not get any easier for the Chiefs. Second quarter, Hurts looks left, finds A.J. Brown. That's a nice catch. Nice, secure scoop there for the score. And here comes the Gatorade bath later on. It was all Chiefs. It was all Eagles. Chiefs ended up putting a few points on the board here. 40-22 is your final. Jalen Hurts is the MVP. We're going to hear reaction from both teams coming up in our next half hour.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to watch, but, congratulations to the Eagles. The best team there won. So there you have it. Well, now to some other top stories. In the latest CBS News polling, Americans say the president is doing more than they anticipated in this early beginning stage of his latest tenure in office. Polls show the American public largely approves, with 70% of Americans saying Trump is doing what he promised during the campaign, but 66% of Americans say he's not doing enough to lower prices. CBS News' Anthony Salvanto says Donald Trump won the election in large part because of people saying that they were feeling the effects of inflation, and so that could be a key number to watch going forward. However, some of Trump's executive actions are being put on pause due to blocks by federal judges. And polling shows Americans are largely divided politically over the Department of Government Efficiency's efforts to audit and cut spending. Elon Musk and Doge are scrutinizing the expenses of at least 7 federal agencies, and the president warned there's more to come.
I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the military. Let's check the military.
Speaker Mike Johnson says he supports the president's move.
So having an independent audit again, having access to the files to dig this stuff out is a good thing for the country, and we support it.
Democrats are largely relying on court challenges in a fight against the administration.
We will look at every single tool in our toolbox, as we've done this last week, to make sure that we stop him from hurting people.
Elon Musk is saying he has no plans to buy TikTok. In other news, the CEO of X, Tesla, and SpaceX said he had not put in a bid to buy the social media site. The Chinese-owned app had been set to be banned over national security concerns on January 20th. President Trump, gave the parent company ByteDance 75 days to sell TikTok to an American buyer, or it may have to shut down. ByteDance has said it doesn't have plans to sell, though some investors have publicly stated they are interested.
North Korea's Kim Jong-un reaffirming his government's committing to advancing their nuclear forces. The remarks in a speech made during a visit to the defense ministry to commemorate the founding day of its army. Kim said U.S. deployments of nuclear strategic assets, war exercises, and military cooperation with Japan and South Korea were inviting military imbalance in the region. When in Washington on Friday, Japan's prime minister had this to say about the North Korean threat and his country's commitment to the U.S.
Regarding North Korea, we affirmed the need to address its nuclear and missile program, which poses a serious threat to Japan, the U.S., and beyond, and that Japan and the U.S. will work together toward the complete denuclearization of North Korea.
The North Korean president further said that the move by the U.S. and Japan raises a grave challenge to North Korea's security environment.
News closer to home this morning, the Wisconsin Supreme Court handed down a unanimous ruling that Megan Wolf, the administrator of the Wisconsin Elections Commission, can remain in her post. That's because of holdovers, meaning an appointed state official can stay after their term expires as long as there's no replacement named for them. 2 years ago, the 6-member board that oversees Wisconsin elections used a parliamentary procedure to keep Wolf on as a holdover. Our Will Keneally spoke with the chair of that board, Ann Jacobs, on For the Record. She says she is very much delighted by the unanimous decision.
Certainly going forward into our April election, having Administrator Wolf at the helm to make sure that things run smoothly, I believe is absolutely essential. And she is a nationally recognized expert in election matters.
Don't forget you can watch the rest of the interview and the full For the Record broadcast on channel3000.com. And remember, For the Record airs every Sunday morning at 10:30 right here on News 3 Now.
In more local news this morning, a fire destroys a mobile home on the north side. That mobile home is considered a total loss. Crews responded yesterday morning to the mobile home park off Packers Avenue near the airport. The trailer was engulfed in flames. 5 residents and a dog who lived there made it out. One person did have to be treated and released for minor injuries. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Nothing suspicious in nature is expected.
A 23-year-old Belleville man is dead after a crash in the town of Albany. Greene County Sheriff's Office says the call came in just before 1 a.m. And a Ford pickup truck heading southbound on English Settlement Road went through the yield-controlled intersection onto Dunphy Road. It collided with an embankment on the south side of the road and traveled up a hill, striking a bank of trees before coming to a stop. Only the driver was in the vehicle. Examiners pronounced him dead on scene. This investigation is ongoing.
6:08 here on your Monday morning. Savannah, what's coming up?
It is a chilly start to our day, not as cold as what we're going to see tomorrow, but the good news is afternoon highs will reach close to where they should be. More details coming up.
And in your morning sports, a former Badger makes a big play for the Eagles at the Super Bowl. Stick around, we'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
6:11 in the 6:08 this week. Boy, it is a big week, and we are getting ready to kick off our Spirit of Service campaign.
That's right. Josh Spider is here with us now, and we are once again honoring our local veterans in 2025.
Yeah, this was such a hit last year, guys. We're excited to be doing it once again. It is Spirit of Service Week here on News 3 Now this morning as we gear up for our annual campaign and honoring our local vets. We are once again partnering with Vortex and Barneveld to make this happen. Vortex and News 3 Now want to recognize a local veteran making a positive impact in the community. Just like last year, the winning veteran for 2025 will receive an unconditional $5,000 prize presented by Vortex. It all kicks off this Friday with the nomination round. We are asking you to nominate a veteran in your backyard who is going above and beyond to provide service to those who need it. So here are the dates you need to know this year. Again, the nomination period starts Friday and runs through March 9th. We'll have a section of channel3000.com where you'll be able to complete all of those nominations. The Vortex board will then narrow those noms down to 5 during the week of March 10th. After that will be the public voting period running March 17th through the 30th. The winner will be announced April 2nd live right here on News 3 Now this morning. Of course, you can follow this process for yourself with continuing coverage right here on News 3 Now this morning. We are super excited. This was such a hit last year and kind of, you'll remember, Stanford, a little emotional to see just how much of a difference all of these people are making, and to narrow it down, because I think we had like close to 100 people that were nominated last year. We have to narrow that down to 5, Kyrie.
Right.
That's hard.
That's really hard.
How do you choose? You wish you could give $5,000 to every single one of these submissions. Every single one of them is so selfless too. They're not doing this for themselves. They're doing it for their community. They're doing it for their federal veterans. It's such a moving partnership, and glad to hear that we're doing this again this year.
Yes, yeah, and coming up here a little bit later this month, we're actually going to hear from last year's winner.
All right.
What he did with the money.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot to look forward to, guys. I'm excited.
I'm excited to see how this plays out this year. It's my first time being involved.
It's a good time for sure.
Good.
Hey, you got an idea for Josh in the 608? Reach out, let him know about it. Here's his contact information.
At 6:13 now, millions of baked goods are being pulled off the shelves over listeria concerns. The Food and Drug Administration is stepping up its recall of 60 baked products. That includes a variety of donuts, cinnamon sticks, and fritters manufactured by the pastry wholesaler FGF Brands. While the recall was initially issued on January 7th, it has been upgraded to Class 2. The FDA did not specify the next steps for consumers.
Well, an upstart union is attempting to represent more than 4,000 Amazon workers in North Carolina. The National Labor Relations Board is overseeing a 6-day vote on the matter starting tomorrow. A win by the union, called Carolina Amazonians United for Solidarity and Empowerment, or CAUSE, would be just the second Amazon facility to see a union win representation. North Carolina has the lowest percentage of union membership among workers of any state.
Let's check in now with meteorologist Savannah Brito. Savannah, how's it looking out there for people headed out the door this morning?
It's kind of cold, so probably want a jacket at least, but temperatures are going to be even colder tomorrow. We're waking up to 13 at the airport, same with Stoughton, 12 degrees in Sauk City, but we do have some areas down to the single digits, 6 in Lone Rock, -8. The air temperature up in Black River Falls. When you factor in the wind chills, though, we have several areas sub-zero: Viroqua, Camp Douglas, Black River Falls, and Dells feels like 0, and our wind chill locally 4 degrees in Madison. We're in a major snowfall deficit. The good news is we do have a few chances of snow going forward. We're mostly clear early, meaning we'll see sunshine through at least probably 11 a.m. Once you get past that lunchtime hour, we are going to see clouds thicken up as temperatures warm in the mid to upper 20s this afternoon. And then late tonight, 10 to 11 p.m., we'll start to see scattered snow showers track in. Notice it's not completely across the entire area of southern Wisconsin. We are going to see some accumulation, trace amounts up to ½ an inch. A few areas, mainly west of Madison, could see a localized inch at most. After that, though, temperatures really cool down as clouds decrease from the north to the south. We're going to wake up to these single digits, likely across most of southern Wisconsin tomorrow. Maybe even a couple areas sub-zero again. After that, our next snow system, that'll move in Wednesday into Thursday. I think our greater chance is going to be south and southwest of here, at least where that greater chance of higher accumulations and travel impacts are going to be. But I still think we're going to see some local impacts and also some accumulating snow across southern Wisconsin. This winter weather advisory for today's system, the blue, is a winter storm watch to our south and southwest. That's for the system Wednesday, and that could bring us a little bit into early Thursday morning as well. But that track, they would fill this in and probably bring that best chance of seeing the winter storm warning. That will likely be upgraded to that later, would be to our south. But I still think we could see some impacts here Wednesday, maybe into early Thursday too. Cooler, 18, but we'll turn mostly sunny after that. Our next chance to follow that is going to be on Saturday, and then the second half of this upcoming weekend looks much colder with a high down to 13.
Nothing quite compares to Super Bowl Sunday. Between the food and the drinks, the music, the commercials, my favorite part is that it brings everyone everyone together to enjoy the best part of the night, the football. So let's talk about that. The Chiefs looking for the first Super Bowl three-peat ever. The Eagles looking to avenge their loss from 2 years ago. Scoreless halfway through the first, and the Eagles pushing the ball down the field to set up this. If you had tush push on your Super Bowl bingo card, that is where you crossed it off. Jalen Hurts was the Super Bowl MVP, but his defense, they did their part too. Philly up 17-0 with 2 minutes left before half. The Chiefs needing to put together a drive and score. And the former Wisconsin Badger, Zach Bond, becomes one of 2 Badgers ever to intercept a pass in a Super Bowl game. He says not today. He intercepts Mahomes, and his Eagles would never look back. The Philadelphia Eagles are your Super Bowl champions in Super Bowl 59. They take it 40-22. For the 10th time in program history and the first time since 2021, Wisconsin women's hockey captured the WCHA regular season title on Saturday. The newly crowned conference champs celebrated yesterday with the Julianne Bai Cup and woke up yesterday morning with a border battle sweep on their mind. They are 3-0 against the Gophers this year, trying to bring out the brooms in the final regular season game at LeBon. This one scoreless through 2 periods. The Badgers trying to change that. Vivian Jungle sizes up her opponent and ciphers a shot past the keeper, and the Badgers take the lead. You can credit Casey O'Brien on the assist. She became the second Badger ever to record 250 career points in this one. And then just 45 seconds of game time later, the Badgers wanted more. Can you blame them? This time it's Kirsten Sims finishing off the sick pass from Lacey Eden, and Wisconsin wins it and do it handily. 6-1 is your final score. Giannis Antetokounmpo strained his calf last weekend, and while the team says it's not serious, it's also something that's not going away as fast as they thought it would. So yesterday, the team decided to shut him down for the next week, which includes this Sunday's NBA All-Star Game. It's a sacrifice the team is willing to make with their eyes on a bigger prize.
We've just been monitoring it, and it just hasn't improved enough for us to play him. This was a playoff game. Would he play? Probably yes, but this is not. And we want to make sure he's playing in the playoffs. We'd love to have him, but you still got to be smart. At the end of the day, I think it's more important to get him healthy.
Meanwhile, the Bucks have lost 5 of their last 6, but Damian Lillard reminded the world against Philadelphia there are 2 stars in Milwaukee. Hits the 3 to extend the Bucks lead to 8 in the third quarter. They hit a season-high 24 threes in this game. Lillard had 8 of them. And then later, the new guy, Kyle Kuzma, tries a triple. It's no good, but Lillard is there for the second chance score. He'd finish with 43 points to go with 8 rebounds and as many assists. The Bucks win it. 135-127 is your final. That's your morning sports fix. Have a wonderful week.
And looking ahead to our next half hour, our Marshawnee Quinn has the 3 takeaways for homeowners after the California fires, what you can do to prepare for natural disasters in Wisconsin.
Hey, we're back talking about the Super Bowl halftime performance last night. Kendrick Lamar. A lot of people were excited about this. You may have seen Samuel L. Jackson introduce Kendrick last night, dressed as Uncle Sam. The whole theme, like the whole storytelling aspect from Kendrick Lamar's performance, I thought was pretty fascinating. He had a message. There was a big question before the game whether or not he would perform his Drake diss track, Not Like Us, which is the subject of defamation lawsuit, which he did. He did perform Not Like Us,
Very proudly.
Give the people what they want, right? 13 total minutes, packed in a lot of fan favorites, including some songs with SZA, like Luther and All the Stars. The duo is going to go on a co-headline tour, 19 cities in North America, starting this spring and into the summer. What do we think?
There's no way that he could not have not performed this song. I mean, he won 5 Grammys off of it last Sunday.
Right.
He could not just, he had to do it.
I was waiting for it the whole time, kind of that build up.
Yeah, was it the last one? Because I missed it.
Our house went crazy, like standing on the furniture, like, yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah, the girls were like, oh, yeah, Mom and Dad. And like the mustard thing, like I love that part. But yeah, you know, it was good.
I think it was one of those that if you were over a certain age, you probably A, didn't know who he was, or B, didn't understand what was going on, probably. But
You know, like the kids feel when, you know, the Super Bowl brings out the Rolling Stones.
well, that's exactly it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here?
That would be me. What is going on?
Right, exactly. But yeah, we'll see what the numbers look like, you know, from last night's game, because, you know, the game was just not interesting.
And a lot of people weren't excited to see the Eagles and Chiefs up against each other again. Sorry, Kyron.
Real curious to see what those.
I mean, I thought they were at least going to play a little better.
Yeah.
But from the show me state, my golly.
Nope, you didn't show as much last night.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
All right, hey, we're back after this, folks. Don't go anywhere. This morning, the Eagles get revenge. The big moments from Super Bowl 59, plus reaction from both teams.
Plus, preparing for disasters, what to look out for in your home insurance policy to make sure you're protected.
Well, good morning to everybody out there watching this morning. On a Monday, I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Allen Lee. Thank you. I was like, I forgot my name for a minute. I'm just so, you know, just trying to get over last night's loss.
Gosh.
I'm just lost my mind.
Yeah.
I'm Kyrie Allen Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning.
I want to get you an update on some breaking news that we've been following this morning. One person now in custody after an incident throughout the night on Horde Street near 6th Street in Madison on the east side, just off of Packers Avenue. Just south of Demetral Park. The incident caused a large police presence and included police dogs and SWAT officers. MPD is not elaborating beyond that. They've been calling for people to avoid that area, but the scene is clear. And you can head back over that way if you need to. If there's anything else to report on the matter, we will do so right here on News 3 Now this morning at channel3000.com.
Well, let's check in right now with meteorologist Savannah Brito, who's going to give us some updates on this winter weather. It's coming in full force.
It sure is. We have 3 chances of snow going forward to talk about. Our first one tonight. That's ahead of the sunshine that we'll see to start the day. But clouds are going to quickly thicken up, especially after that lunchtime hour. So the kiddos heading out probably want a winter jacket because temps are cold this morning, just not as cold as what we're going to see tonight into early tomorrow morning. These are current wind chill values, what feels like 4 at the airport in Madison, 9 in the Dells, but we do have a couple areas, mainly west and northwest of Madison, that are waking up to sub-zero wind chills. We'll talk about how chilly it's going to be tonight and the chance of snow, how much we could see going forward. That's coming up in a bit, guys.
All right, talk to you then, Savannah. Well, this morning, the Philadelphia Eagles are celebrating a second Lombardi Trophy in 8 seasons.
They beat the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22 last night at the Superdome in New Orleans. Unfortunate for me, this Missouri girl. The game got away from Kansas City in the second quarter with a chance to pull within a score before halftime. Patrick Mahomes instead throws this interception, unbelievable, and Cooper DeJean takes it all the way back for the touchdown. The rookie out of Iowa made that play on his birthday. Here's his post-game reaction.
Yeah, it's crazy. Be able to do it with this group of guys, come in and, you know, since day one, they've, you know, all us rookies, they've brought us in and, you know, taught us everything they know. You know, how to be on here on the biggest stage. You know, and they support us, you know, all the way through the ups and downs. And I know they're back home partying on Broad Street right now.
And he's correct. Take a look at the scenes on Broad Street in Philadelphia as fans poured out to celebrate their team's win. As for the Chiefs, here's their head coach, Andy Reid.
We didn't really play well in any of the phases. Didn't coach good enough. Too many turnovers, too many penalties. Against a good football team, you just can't do that. We'll learn from this. Like most games here, when you don't do very well, you learn from it as a coach, you learn from it as a player, and you move on.
Andy Reid is now 3-3 all-time in Super Bowls as a head coach. He also won Super Bowl 31 as an assistant with the Green Bay Packers.
Sure did.
That's when his side beat the Patriots 35-21, and that Super Bowl also took place in the Superdome.
Oh, get me all nostalgic here on Monday morning.
Been a little while.
It has. Yeah, just kind of a blowout of a game, kind of a snoozer last night.
Lost interest real quick.
Yeah, Chiefs just couldn't win at the line of scrimmage last night. Had Mahomes scrambling around.
Yeah.
He's good at it, but he's not that good at it to overcome what the Eagles had to throw at him.
Yeah, congrats to the Eagles. They were the better team
There you
last
go.
night.
That's very
See,
nice
I
of
have
you to
good
say.
spirit. I'm not a sore loser.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, it helps when you've got 2 Super Bowl wins in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some other top stories today. Happening today, President Trump plans to impose some more tariffs. This would apply to all steel and aluminum imports. Trump made those remarks on his way to the Super Bowl. He did not provide any details or a timeline, though. Trump also said that he planned to announce more tariffs later this week. Those would be aimed at countries which have begun their own tariffs on U.S. products.
Also today, new Chinese tariffs on certain U.S. goods begin. They're 15% for certain types of coal and liquefied natural gas and 10% for crude oil, certain vehicles, and farm equipment. China says these tariffs are a response to Trump's actions on Chinese products. They force American businesses to pay 10% extra as a kind of tax on Chinese imports over $800. Many economists say that could be inflationary.
It was sort of a situation where an eye for an eye left everybody blind.
When you're dealing with the Chinese government, you really are looking to try to find a way that nobody really looks bad.
The Trump administration has paused tariffs on some Chinese imports. The pause applies to imports under $800. It says the Commerce Department is developing a system for tracking those goods.
President Trump says that he wants the Treasury Department to stop making pennies. The U.S. Mint reports that it lost $85 million making pennies last year. It costs almost 4 cents now to make a penny. The rising cost of metals, including zinc and copper, is part of the reason why they're more expensive to produce. In 2012, Canada stopped producing pennies for the same reasons. Now almost all goods are rounded to the nearest 5 cents.
And the U.S. government's headquarters for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau are closing down this week. Bureau employees learned yesterday afternoon that the headquarters will not be open for the week. They were asked to work remotely, and employees did not learn of a reason. The move comes days after Elon Musk tweeted out CFPB RIP with a tombstone emoji. The Bureau did not respond to a CNN request for comment.
Vice President J.D. Vance set to meet with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky next week. CBS News has learned that the two will meet at the Munich Security Conference. Vance and Zelensky will attend as their respective countries' delegates. President Trump has also said that he hopes to meet with Zelensky in the coming days. Trump says that he hopes to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. Last week, a Ukrainian delegation met with General Keith Kellogg, the State Department's Ukraine-Russia envoy.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is back home after his week in Washington. He reportedly told cabinet members he supports President Trump's idea of the U.S. taking over the Gaza Strip. Trump announced the proposal in a joint press conference. The idea would displace about 2 million Palestinians. Netanyahu says it would ensure Israel's security for generations to come, but a number of countries in Europe and in the Middle East do not support the plan. This includes the Turkish president. He said it's, quote, nothing worth considering or discussing. And happening today, opening arguments begin in the trial surrounding the attempted stabbing of Salman Rushdie. The attack happened in August of 2022 and left the author severely injured. Rushdie has since released a memoir called Knife, Meditations After an Attempted Murder. It details the attack and his long road to recovery. The attacker is charged with attempted murder and assault. The trial is expected to last between 1 to 2 weeks.
The NTSB is examining the wreckage from the mid-air collision at the nation's capital. It was last month. The regional American Airlines jet collided with a Black Hawk helicopter. All 67 people on board died. Workers first recovered the victims from the scene. They spent about a week since clearing the debris from the Potomac River. And now the NTSB is storing that wreckage at an airport facility so investigators can try to determine what caused the collision. 6:37 now. Experts want you to look at your property insurance and make sure you're covered. The warning comes after recent hurricanes and wildfires across the country.
And while we don't see those natural disasters in Wisconsin, there's plenty else to be ready for. Our Michelle Renee Quinn shares 3 things you can do to prepare to protect your property.
With the recent California wildfires, experts say it's likely we'll see coverage scaled back and insurance companies considering additional mitigation features. Jennifer Vanderlip is the senior client executive at M3 Financial. She says the biggest takeaway is to protect your property.
Even in Wisconsin, we have some pretty serious storms, convective storms. Wind and hail is a pretty common event. So there's ways to protect your home, regular maintenance, upkeep.
One thing consumers can do is to document belongings.
As easy as taking your phone and just kind of videoing everywhere around the home, opening your drawers.
She says to start with the big things.
I tell everyone, like, go room by room. bedroom sets, living room sets, dining room sets, furniture, TVs, electronics.
The next step is mitigating your property.
Take a look at your roof, walk around every once in a while, see how things are going, making sure screens are in place.
You can clear back brush, install fire alarms, or water shutoff devices.
There's devices out there that'll actually monitor the flow of water through your pipes. And when it senses those irregularities, it'll trip the automatic shutoff and turn your water off, and then send you an alert so that you know to check on your home or have someone check on your home.
Lastly, keep in touch with your insurance agent. Look at what you have and make sure your policy didn't lapse.
With recent changes in the market in this area, it's probably wise to take a look at what your deductibles are, because that is one of the #1 things that insurance companies are starting to look at.
Michelle Renee Quinn reporting. You can take steps to mitigate your damage. They include documenting your belongings and checking on your coverage to see if your policy hasn't lapsed.
6:39. Coming up after the break, we'll have some new findings on the dangers of drinking alcohol. Who's most at risk?
And we're in a major snowfall deficit so far through meteorological winter, but good news is we have a few chances of snow to talk about.
Also ahead, we're gearing up to kick off the Spirit of Service campaign this week. I'll share how you can honor a local veteran doing something good.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
I'm Con. I'm from Madison. Someone that planned my day.
Con from Madison, and everyone else who's in the Madison area going to see sunshine to start the day, but it's a cold start with temperatures in the lower teens. Couple areas even west and northwest of Madison in the single digits. But later in the afternoon, clouds are going to increase after the lunchtime hour as temperatures warm in the mid to upper 20s. So it will be at least near normal for afternoon highs later today. As the clouds increase, all the snow chances will be west, but late tonight into early Tuesday morning, some snow showers that will be light, could still lead to a couple slick spots are going to move in. A dusting up to ½ an inch at the most. A few areas mainly west of Madison though could see a localized area up to an inch, but our better chance is going to come Wednesday into Thursday. That moves out of here. This is now 4 in the morning. As we see the skies clear from the north to the west or north to the south, we are going to quickly see temperatures fall. We're looking at these single digits overnight. Some areas though could fall sub-zero again. After that though, clouds increase again for the day tomorrow, and then especially into Wednesday when some snow showers are going to track in again. The winter weather advisory, that's for today, that first system that I showed, but the blue, this is a winter storm watch for areas near Kansas City, all the way west, and then as far north as Fairfield right now. We are likely going to see a similar suit across central Illinois, so right now the best chance, higher chance of impacts and higher accumulations are going to be on set to follow the track south of here, but I still think we'll see some impacts here and some snow getting into southern Wisconsin as well. This is 11 p.m. tomorrow, so that system dropping snow where those areas that are under a winter storm watch going to be. But then as we get into Wednesday morning, some of that just to our southwest. Later into the morning that we get, some snow should track into southern Wisconsin, but you can see those deeper hues of blue to our south. That's where the heavier snow is going to fall. Some of those darker shades of blue do get into southern Wisconsin, but I think the greater impact is still going to be to our south, but we still likely will see some accumulating snow here. Most of the day Wednesday and then early Thursday morning, that snow, the clouds move out of here, but still could have some slick spots out there just early Thursday morning before we quickly see clouds clear and sunshine return. But another drop in temperatures will be down to 18 on Thursday. The next chance of snow to follow that Saturday, and then again colder Sunday with a high of 13.
I love the cold.
Kyrion's loving
I
it.
embrace the cold.
And sub-zero lows a couple nights. So
even better.
Yeah.
No.
I know, we just had 50s 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping it held on just a little bit longer.
Yeah, that
we'll
wasn't
see a
gonna
couple
happen.
days here and there throughout the winter.
It's staying lighter longer.
Yeah, and we need the
Isn't that
snow
nice?
because
Yes.
the deficit. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can take it. I can take it.
Yeah.
All right, Savannah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And if you want Savannah to play in your day, she'd love to do so, of course. Just record a video like you saw earlier, share your name and where you live, and then send it our way. You can send it via our website, the First One Weather app, Facebook Messenger, or email. Then watch around this time every morning to see if you come on the air.
An update to some breaking news. Madison police were asking people to avoid Horde Street near 6th Street. We do know now that one person is in custody and that scene is clear. This is just south of Demetral Park. The incident caused a large police presence. It included police dogs, SWAT officers. MPD is not elaborating beyond that. They did call for people to avoid that area, though, for some time. It is clear, though. We're working to get some more information. And if we get that for you, we'll pass it along right here on the program.
It's a big week in the 608, and we're getting ready to kick off our Spirit of Service campaign.
That's right. It's coming back. Josh Sprider here with how we're once again honoring local veterans here in the 608. Hey, Josh.
Hey, guys. Good morning to you. So that is Spirit of Service Week here on News 3 Now this morning as we gear up for our annual campaign in honoring our local vets. We are once again partnering with Vortex in Barneville to make this happen. Vortex and News 3 Now want to recognize a local veteran making a positive impact in the community. Just like last year, the winning veteran for 2025 will receive an unconditional $5,000 cash prize presented by Vortex. It all kicks off this Friday with the nomination round. We're asking you to nominate a veteran in your backyard who is going above and beyond to provide service to those who need it. So here are the dates you need to know this year. Again, the nomination period starts Friday and runs through March 9th. We'll have a section of channel3000.com where you'll be able to complete the nominations. The Vortex board will narrow those noms down to 5 during the week of March 10th. After that will be the public voting period running March 17th through the 30th. The winner will be announced April 2nd live right here on News 3 Now this morning. Of course, you can follow along this process for yourself with continuing coverage right here on News 3 Now this morning and channel3000.com. This was such a hit last year. We had close to 100 nominations.
Wow.
So I think 100, we had to narrow that down to 5. And all these people are doing amazing things in the community. Like, it was pretty heartwarming just to see how much of a difference is being made here in the 608.
And to see our veterans giving back is amazing.
That's exactly it, yeah.
Incredibly deserving. I mean, the personal stories that come in from some of these nominations, they just tug at your heartstrings to hear about all these people doing so much good in your community. Wish you could give $5,000 to all of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the winner from last year, I mean, there's such humble, grounded, down-to-earth people who are just trying to do good. Right. And this money gives them an opportunity to just do that much more of what they're trying to accomplish.
And it's proof that their service didn't stop way back when they were done. It's like here they are decades later still making a difference. Coming up later this month, we're going to go back and reintroduce you to last year's winner, see what he's up to and see what he did with the money. And again, another heartwarming story for the people down in Stoughton. So you can look forward to that here a little bit later in February.
I'm excited to hear their stories, and I'm excited to be a part of this because
it's huge.
It's big.
It's these folks that deserve all of the credit for what they're doing, for sure.
That's what the 608's all about.
Love it. All right,
finding that inspiration and highlighting the good. All right, Josh Sprider, thanks, buddy.
You bet.
You got something for Josh? Reach out and let him know about it.
6:49. If you regularly get coffee from Starbucks, this is for you. Happening today, you can recover from the Super Bowl with a free coffee from the chain. They're offering one free tall hot or iced brewed coffee to its reward members anytime today. If you aren't a rewards member yet, you can sign up and still get a freebie. The move comes as the company rebrands after disappointing sales last quarter.
New government study says that alcohol can seriously harm your liver if you have belly fat, diabetes, or high blood pressure. The study looked at nearly 41,000 cases. Researchers found that drinking alcohol more than doubles the risk of serious liver damage if you have a large belly or diabetes. They further found that drinking nearly doubles your risk for those with high blood pressure as well.
Coming up in the morning sprint, a potential benefit to sleeping on the job.
If you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, let us know. We'll share their picture on TV. We're back with the morning sprint right after this.
.653, time for the morning sprint.
Following up on breaking news, one person now in custody after an incident overnight. Madison police were at Horde Street near 6th Street, just south of Demetral Park. The incident caused a large police presence there. It included police dogs and SWAT officers. MPD not elaborating more. They were helping out another agency there. They were calling for people to avoid that area, but that area is now clear.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22 last night in New Orleans. The Eagles scored the game's first 34 points. The win comes 2 years after the Chiefs won the same Super Bowl matchup. It's also 7 years after they last lifted the Lombardi Trophy. The result means the Chiefs miss out on an unprecedented three-peat.
Happening today, President Trump says he plans to impose more tariffs. This would apply to all steel and aluminum imports. Trump made the remarks on Air Force One on his way to the Super Bowl. The president didn't provide any details or a timeline. Trump did say that he planned to announce some more tariffs later this week.
President Trump also says he wants the Treasury Department to stop making pennies. The president announced the move yesterday. He cited the rising cost of producing pennies as the reason, calling it wasteful spending. The rising cost of metals, including zinc and copper, is part of why pennies are more expensive to produce. In 2012, Canada stopped producing pennies for the same reason.
A 23-year-old Belleville man dead this morning after a car crash. It happened in the town of Albany Sunday morning around 1 o'clock. A Ford pickup was headed south on English Settlement Road, went through an intersection, collided with an embankment, and hit a tree. The driver was the only person in the vehicle. Medical authorities have pronounced him dead at the scene.
A home on Madison's north side is a total loss after a fire. Firefighters responded to a trailer home on Waxwing Lane, just west of the Dane County Regional Airport yesterday morning. They found the home engulfed in flames. The 5 people living there and a dog all got out safely. Officials are still investigating the cause of the fire.
Well, you ever nap at work? A sleep expert says that a short midday nap can restore you and leave you more alert. James Rowley from Rush University Medical Center says you should nap between 15 and 20 minutes. Any longer, you could end up groggy. He says if you rely on a nap, though, you should probably re-examine your nighttime sleep habits. Not sure what your boss will think about this if you take a nap, though, right in the middle of work.
Well, the good news is we do have a couple chances of snow going forward, much needed because we're in a major snowfall deficit. The first tonight into tomorrow, not looking like it'll amount to much, but Wednesday into Thursday could be a different story.
All right, Savannah, thank you.
Another news and weather update in 30 minutes.